Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. For those of you who are viewing remotely, I see we have quite a few of those. Welcome. Make sure that you've got the chat bar open on the side of the screen so you can express your questions as Tara's presenting today. A couple of things we need to go over. Cleaning house business before we get started. Those Thanksgiving holiday specials, a couple bullet points. They run for 24 hours each only. There's no way to get them afterwards unless there was an internet glitch, and then you need to email promotions@doTERRA.com. Let them know specifically what the computer glitch was, what time it happened, and which specific, date and time that it happened, and which specific holiday special you were trying to get. If they go back in the computer records and they see that there was a mess like there was yesterday, then the chances are very high that they will go ahead and honor that promotion for you, okay? Second, to get the LRP points for that promotion, you do not have to order those items in the promotion. You can do a standard order, so you're not trying to add stuff on top to get the special, to get the points. You just order the holiday special, use the SKU. It is highly recommended that you go in from the shop tab through the special promotions, limited time availability, and then it's in the bottom right, because that way you're not trying to type in the SKU number and risk messing up and getting the wrong thing, and that did happen to somebody earlier this morning and they were very frustrated. So also, third point about that is that if you are on my team watching this video, you should know that you're on my team if you are. If you don't, then email me, we'll figure it out. And you want to order all the multiple holiday things each day, but you don't want to pay shipping for each day, have them sent to will call. I will pick them all up, and then you only have to pay me for shipping one time, and I take payment through PayPal, so easy peasy. If you enrolled somebody last month with 100 points, and they don't have their 100-point LRP yet, don't let them forget. Remind them. It's a busy time, and if they procrastinated putting in their LRP for those 100 points to get the free lifelong vitality, you don't want them to miss out. So give them a call in the next couple days and say, hey, how can I best assist that? Or however you want to word that, whatever way serves, but make sure that they know that you want them to be able to have that deal. That's a big deal. Also, a special shout out to I am so worried I'm going to forget somebody, so if I do, please, please forgive me. We have a lot of people who advanced in rank already this month. I'm very proud of you. I especially am proud of Danielle and Daniel Moore. I know I talk about them quite often, but they are really good examples of really persevering through struggle, and they are not exempt from continuous struggle, just like all of us, because we all have to stretch and grow, and that's how it happens, and they keep persevering, and their team hit record high numbers the last 3 months in a row. I'm very proud of them. So yay for the Moores. All right. So I want to introduce you to the fabulous Tara. She is an incredible person, and she and I haven't gotten to spend a lot of time together, but every time we do or we chat, I am edified. So some things about her is that she started a group called Women Bike Arkansas. They're dedicated to health and fitness, and they bike all over the place, and I love seeing her pictures and posts on Facebook about that. She's a homeschooling mom that focuses on the education of her children as well as cooking healthy and good things for them, organic foods, and striving to find non-GMO things, and all this good, wonderful stuff, and she's really good at it. And she wrote a cookbook called Tara's Tried and True Recipes, and she is all out of them right now, but she is taking pre-orders. They're $20 plus shipping and handling. It's a great price for some really great recipes. So while she is teaching me today, I'm going to be making a screen image at the end of her cooking. We'll have an open Q&A, and I will put up on the screen the recipes. So if you're watching the recording later, you can pause it and write the recipe down or take a screenshot and print it out, however you want to do that. And I will also provide a link to those recipes in a document in the next newsletter. So remember that the Q&A is at the end, but if you have questions during and you're worried you'll forget them, put them in the chat box on the right, and I'll make sure that I share those for everybody at the end. All right, Tara, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you can see me. I can't see you, so I feel like I'm just talking to Christy. So anyway, today we're going to make two recipes. We're going to make pumpkin white chocolate chip scones, and we're also going to make fruit salsa. So bear with me. Come on back to my kitchen. All right. I have set everything. Sorry for the counter here. I can't take it away. But I've got everything setting out, and we're going to be using essential oils. We're going to be using ginger and cinnamon today for the scones. So this cookbook is, or this recipe is in my cookbook. So feel free to go back to that. I'm going to preheat my oven for 400. All right, and since we're making scones, it's a lot of handwork, so I'm going to take my rings off, and I encourage you to do the same thing. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get half a cup of pumpkin, and we're going to put it in a little bowl. And I have a glass bowl because we are going to be doing the essential oils in these bowls. So half cup of pumpkin, not the pumpkin pie spice mix, just pumpkin. And I like to do a lot of things as easily as I can just because I have so many children around the house. So I always use canned pumpkin. If it's there, might as well use it. All right, and then I'm going to be mixing in a teaspoon of vanilla and a third cup buttermilk. Now, I don't keep buttermilk at the house very often, and this was one of those days that I didn't have it. So what I did was just add a little bit of lemon juice into my milk, just like a teaspoon of lemon juice, and it will turn into buttermilk after 5 minutes. So this is a third cup of milk, buttermilk. Mix those together really well. And then I add 1/3 cup of white chocolate chips. Okay. Then I have 2 cups of white flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 1/3 cup of brown sugar. Now, I did say we're going to be using essential oils, so I'm going to go back over here to my essential oil drawer and pull out the ginger and cinnamon. And we're going to add just 1 drop because you know how potent these are, so we don't want too much. So 1 drop of cinnamon bark. And 1 drop of ginger. These are so good. Ginger is very much used during this time of year. So if you don't have it, get it. All right. And now my kitchen smells very, very fragrant. All right. I'm going to get a stick of cold butter. And you're going to slice up that stick of butter. I like to slice it really, really well. It's easier to knead that way. Okay. Like I said, we're going to do a lot of handwork here today. So go ahead and mix up your dry ingredients. This is one of those recipes that is very, very easy to double or triple or even quadruple because a can of pumpkin is usually about 2 cups, and you're going to add half a cup. So very, very easy. It doesn't take much more work at all. Just bigger bowls if you're going to do a bigger recipe. So I'm just making sure that the brown sugar is thoroughly incorporated in here. We don't want any big brown sugar clumps in our scones. Okay. Next thing I'm going to add the butter. This is just unsalted, cold butter. Now this is when it's fun for the kids to get involved. Just make sure it's a big bowl. Sounds like my oven is ready. I really enjoy adding essential oils into my cooking, just to reap the benefits of essential oils and also just to flavor the food really easily and really well. Another thing that you can do during the season is with your mashed potatoes, if you have rosemary, add a drop of rosemary into your mashed potatoes. Really, really yummy. People are going to go, what is that flavor in there? And then you'll know what it is. You'll be able to share your essential oils that way. All right, I'm just getting all these butter clumps out of here as quickly as I can so I don't affect the dough. You want that butter nice and cold. This is one of those things that take a little bit of time, so bear with me. Okay, I like to use a baker's mat for this, and so I do have one underneath my bowl that I'll be using. If you don't have a baker's mat, just do the best you can to make a nice circle. But it's really much easier to work with because I don't know if, I mean, really butcher paper wouldn't be very good, or wax paper or foil, because it would lift up. So maybe just a clean counter that you are going to be cutting, so be really careful with your counter. Alrighty, so it looks like everything's incorporated. It's a little bit longer here. I'm looking for those big chunks of butter just to smash them between my fingers. You can also use a couple knives or a pastry blender if you have one, but I just like the feel of the food. Just kind of that rustic kind of chef, I guess. And not everybody has a pastry blender, but most people have a couple of hands that they can work with. All right. So I'm going to move this off of my pastry mat and go ahead and prepare that. I'm going to spread a little bit of flour out. And once we get going, we're going to get going pretty quickly on getting these situated. Now I'm going to go ahead and flour a serrated bread knife. Okay. Now I'm going to incorporate my pumpkin and white chocolate chips. And I had a friend the other day email me and say that she made this recipe out of my cookbook, and her husband does not like pumpkin. I'm sorry, I don't know what husband does not like pumpkin besides hers, but anyway, she was using applesauce, and she used chocolate chips, and I was thinking, well, you could do that, or you could do little blueberries or cranberries or whatever. That's the beauty of this recipe. It can be switched around easily. Anyway, she said it was the best scones, and it so much reminded her of, where did they go? Ireland. That's where they went. And so, anyway, they haven't had their Ireland fix in about 8 months, and so she was very, very thankful and excited about this recipe. And she said it was really easy, which it is. You'll see for yourself. So I'm just kind of mixing here, trying not to overmix. Another advantage of using glass bowls is you can make sure that that is mixed at the bottom of the bowl by just lifting the bowl up sometimes and kind of just making sure it's all gathered, because you don't want dry ingredients coming out onto your picking mat. So just kind of rolling it around and just making sure everything's got a little bit of moisture to it. See how it's starting to form already? That's what you want. All right. See, it's already formed a ball for me. Isn't that nice? All right, now you just got to get it off your fingers. All right. So you can make large scones or you can make small scones. My family likes these things so much, I just make large scones. So get the ball, put it onto your mat, and just kind of Roll, get a little bit of flour around there. Pat it and form it into a nice ball, and then pat it down. You want it to like a big disc. So whatever size scones that you want. There's no wrong or right way to do this. So scones are generally triangular, so that's why we're going to keep with the circle. Go ahead and re-flour my bread knife and just push down on your bread knife. Okay? And then re-flour it again. I'm just going to make 8 nice, pretty scones. Pay no attention to my nasty looking hands. All right. So right here, we have a nice triangle. Put them on your cookie sheet, or I use stones in the house because they cook your food so well and very evenly, so I really only use baking stones. All right, so those are all there. Hang on one second. Wash up. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to get some cream, or we have half and half in the house because we drink coffee quite a bit. So I'm going to use the half and half. And I'm going to brush my scones with the half and half. And then once I finish this, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of coarse sugar on my scones. We use organic sugar cane crystals, and so that's just the right size sugar that you want to use, just a coarser sugar. Not too much. We already have a third cup of brown sugar in here, so we don't need more sugar, too much more sugar, but it's more of a texture thing than anything else. It's good. Alrighty. All right, let me show you what I've got here. I've got a mess, is what I've got. All right, this is what it should look like. I hope you can see that all right. And they're falling, so I'm going to put these in the oven. And those should be about ready in about 12 minutes. You want them to be a little golden on the top, not too much because you don't want them dry. So I'm going to clean up just a minute, and then we'll get some fruit salsa going on. So hang on one second. This is the intermission.
Can I ask you a couple questions while you clean?
Yes, I'd love for you to.
Awesome. So one question that we got was, do you notice a change in the flavor of the oils depending on the heat or the temperature that it's cooked at, the food?
I've never noticed a change in the flavor of the oils. That's a good question.
Wonderful. And since we're doing scones and fruit salsa today, you're not going to be using oregano. What are your recommendations on cooking with that lovely oil?
With what? With oregano oil?
Yes.
Oh, you know, I have not braved that. I'm a little intimidated by using oregano oil in my foods. I have used thyme before, but no, I have not used oregano. I'm scared.
Okay.
My children might be scared too.
So usually the recommendation on that, since I have tried it, is 1 toothpick dipped in and tapped off, and then swirled in the food and tossed away. And it's about a tablespoon of oregano. So sufficient, more than sufficient.
That's very good.
All right, I'm going to let you back at it.
Okay. So we've already started setting up for my fruit salsa. This is such an easy recipe, and I really like to use it in the winter when people aren't really eating too much fruit. I like to use the frozen fruits because they're picked at just peak season, and I can get the best benefits from the frozen fruits this way. So we're going to be using just a package of frozen strawberries that I've already thawed, and also the same for my peaches. It's just 16 ounces of thawed sliced peaches. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to get this out of the way. I usually use gloves for my jalapeno, but I'm not going to today because they're just bulky. So I'll just remind myself not to rub my eyes whenever I'm finished with this. So I'm going to get my jalapeno, which I've already washed, and I'm going to slice it open. I like to get a spoon and get out the veins and the seeds all at the same time. So I'm going to go to the kitchen sink and get that done. Watch your eyes, just kind of look away. One scrape should pretty much do it. Really easy to get the seeds and vein out, but that just takes away a lot of the heat. And you are making a fruit salsa, so you don't want it to be hot. It just has like a little tiny kick of the jalapeno, and I really like that. And since I'm only using one, my children don't seem to mind either. I have one that has acid reflux pretty bad, so I get in trouble if I use too much heat. So I'm just really thinly slicing this jalapeno down to the tiny little pieces. Just going to run my knife through this real quick. And we'll go through it one more time just to make sure I don't have any pieces that are a little bit too big. Better safe than sorry. And a lot of people are just going to see the green. They're not even going to taste the flavor side of these. So, one finely chopped jalapeno. And the essential oils I'm going to put in here is going to be 1 drop, because it's all you're going to need is 1 drop of orange. Now the recipe that I watched my friend prepare with this, she used a whole orange and just sliced it up and everything, and I was thinking, I'm just going to use this orange essential oil, and I've been doing that ever since, and it's really good, and it's a lot easier. All right, I have a can of crushed pineapple and 100% juice, so there's not any refined sugar or anything in this recipe. Just dump the whole can in there. Okay. And then go ahead and get my essential oils out here. Let me get lemon, 1 drop of lemon. Okay. And go ahead and put some in my water because I forgot to do that earlier. And then a drop of orange. Gotta go slow so you don't get more than you need to. And then 1 drop of peppermint. Try not to get 2 drops of peppermint in here. It will kind of affect the flavor a little bit too pungent there. Come on out. Here we go. All right, and now just the rest of your fruits. So I've had them draining all morning. They're still a little cold. We're just going to run our knife through these and just do a rough chop on all these here. I love using the essential oils with the fresh fruits. Not adding any heat to it, so. This is going to take a while. There's a lot of 16 ounces or 32 ounces worth of fruit in here. Bear with me here. Turn it off. Christy, do you have anybody asking any questions? This would be a really good time for some questions and answers.
I haven't had any. Oh, see, there's one. Have you ever done the fruit salsa without the peppermints?
I have, yes, I have. I just like the extra flavor of the peppermint in there. You can void it if you want. Whenever I made this, before I had the essential oils, I made it with peppermint leaves or with mint leaves, and so I thought, well, I might as well just add a peppermint. So that's when I decided to use that. But by golly, you can change this recipe any way you want. Not a problem at all.
Okay.
Sometimes I get two drops of peppermint in there, I get in trouble. So.
Be very refreshing.
Yeah, I'm really, wow, that's some great salsa there.
Okay, somebody else just asked, she avoids sugar where at all possible. She wanted to know if you mixed honey with the half and half, could you avoid the crystallized sugar on the scones?
You can, yes. It's like I said, it's just a texturized thing, so you don't even need the sugar on there. It just adds the texture. But then again, remember, I did add brown sugar into the recipe, so I don't know if that's going to affect your recipe if you are going sugar-free. So I don't know any modification for that. Hopefully you do.
She says she substitutes honey for brown sugar, so.
Okay, good. And I wouldn't even worry about the top part. I would go ahead and put some cream on top, but don't worry about adding the sugar content if you are trying not to do the sugars.
Okay. Oh, here's one that's not about the cooking. Do you have a website for the Bike Arkansas group?
I do. Well, not a website, but I have a Facebook page. It's Women Bike Arkansas. That's all it is. So there's a Facebook page.
Perfect. And then what email address do they send their pre-orders to, and how do they pay you for the cookbook?
Okay. You can just send me an email, and then whenever I get the cookbooks, I will email you back and let you know. But my email address is Leamon, which is Leamon, Terra, TARA, @gmail.com. And just put in the subject line cookbook.
Perfect. And then do you take PayPal for your payments?
I don't. I haven't figured that out yet on how to do that. A lot of the cookbooks, the 100 that I have sold, have generally been local or just friends from around the country that I've just had them send me a check and then I ship it to them directly that way. So if PayPal would be easier, just put that in the subject line and I'll research it, or put that in the email and I'll research what I can do.
Okay. It's super easy. If I can do it, you can.
Oh, girl. Too much credit. All right. So, as you can see, we've got lots of fruit going on in here. Such a good recipe. You'll really, really like this. All right, our last chopping. We're down to the bottom of the bowl here. And I'm going to serve this with cinnamon sugar pita chips. So whenever I was going sugar-free for quite some time, I just ate this straight out of the bowl with just a spoon and no pita chips. And so you can too. You don't have to use cinnamon sugar pita chips, but it sure makes it really good. I'll be serving this next week. Our church is having a ladies' night, and so it's supposed to be finger foods. They said, we don't want any silverware. Well, I was thinking this would be a really good recipe for something like that. I'll bring a spoon for them to dish it up. They can just use the chips for serving. So hang on a second. I'll give that a good stir. I can smell my scones. You guys can only smell what I smell. All right, getting close. All right, so we have our fruit salsa. My children were so excited that I was going to be doing this today. You can only imagine what they're going to be having for snack time today. But I will be going back to the drawing board and to the refrigerator and cupboards and quadrupling this recipe. It's great to take to our store. All the customers enjoy when Tara bakes her scones. I really, really enjoy baking, but I don't always need them all here. The fruits of my labor. All right, so we have our fruit salsa. Yeah. All right, and then, like I said, I serve it with tortilla chips. There you go. So when the scones come out of the oven, I'll be able to show you that. And if you want me to eat it in front of you, I will. But just take my word for it. Everything's really good. Knowing me, I'll put some cinnamon between my teeth, and you guys will all look at me like that.
Well, I'm now seeing the downside of the webcam being so versatile across the country because I'm wishing I was sitting in your kitchen right now.
Yeah, I know. We could have some coffee and scones together, and then
Yummy stuff.
I know. Get some over. There's plenty.
Oh, okay. It took me a second to realize what she was asking. So, if you don't know the answer to this question, I do. So, does the efficacy of the essential oil for our health change when you put it in a recipe and cook it?
Ooh, you know what? I have always wanted to know that question too. So no question is a dumb question. So answer our question for us, Christy.
Okay, so the efficacy is changed. There are, just like you don't want to store your essential oil bottles in a hot place, you want them in a cool, dry, preferably dark place. And once you cook them at high temperatures, if you're going to boil them, bake them, put them on vegetables, and then steam them, so medicinal properties can be lost. The efficacy for medicinal purposes is severely lower. If you're going to do a steamer cup and put the oils in a cup of hot water and then put your face over the mug, you're getting an immediate vaporization into your system, so it's different. But if you're going to, like baking wild orange in the scones, you're not going to get all the medicinal properties of the wild orange oil, but you're certainly going to enjoy a beautiful flavor.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I did not want to. Yeah, I figured that would be right. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're spot on.
So, Christy, do not put wild orange in the scones. You can put ginger. Well, I guess you could put wild orange if you're making orange cranberry scones. That would be really, really good. But that recipe, it's got the ginger.
No, not that recipe. Sorry. I suddenly got this urge to do cranberry wild orange in the scones, so you totally read my mind on that. But that's why I was thinking wild orange. Sorry.
That's fine. I just didn't want to throw anybody off going, did she put that in there? Because I didn't see that.
So, let's see. I'm going to see if I can pull up the graphics for your recipe while we wait on those scones.
Okay.
Somewhere on here I have them.
It's about 5 minutes left on the scones. So.
Oh, okay. Perfect. I did an update on my computer last night, so everything's moving super slow because nothing's, already figured out.
Right.
Okay. I am getting a lot of messages saying that our back offices are having a hard time processing credit cards for the new holiday orders. These wonderful specials always overwhelm the systems. They think they're going to have to build a high-rise just for computer servers. So first up on the screen share is the pumpkin white chocolate chip scones. So, oh, I've got it stuck on me, that's why. There you go.
I can see it. Looks like my recipe.
Hey, look at that. So, the pumpkin white chocolate chip scones, oh man, those look so yummy. And for those of you watching the recording, you can pause it and write it down. You can take screenshots, whatever it is that you need to do. And I'll go ahead and post them on our Oils Momentum page on Facebook as well. So that you have those, and there'll be a link to them in the newsletter. And I'm turning it back off so that I can turn the next one on for the other recipe. Oh goodness, it didn't come up. Okay, we're going to cancel that. Put it back on Tara's kitchen. She's getting those gloves on.
It's about time.
Okay. Now I can pull that recipe up for you. Here you go. So there's the recipe for the fruit salsa.
Yeah. All right, scones are out of the oven, just like that. Right, these are the scones. They're hot. They're 400 degrees hot. Here you go.
Oh.
Just slightly browned, not too much. You don't want too much brown going on there, but that is just what you need to see. You should smell them. Chrissy, you need to come over.
I do. Let me hop a plane.
Come on.
Do you know about changes in cooking for elevation changes?
I haven't experienced it, but our elevation's not an issue. I wouldn't think, I wouldn't think so.
Okay. Perfect. Yummy. Tara, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Your kitchen is so clean. You're a brave woman. Like, if somebody wanted to film in my kitchen, I'd be like, no, let's go to a restaurant or a hotel where they have a shared kitchen.
Because this is reality, because it's always so clean, I mean.
I'm going to quote you on that.
My family's going to go, whatever, Mom. You should see behind the camera. The full, the breads.
Yeah, well, I know that you really cook, and that means there's stuff on the counters all the time. There's no way to keep it. Thank you so much, Tara. Is there anything or anybody you want to shout out to or any information you wanted to share before I switch the camera over?
I don't think so. So shout out to everybody I know. Love y'all. Thank you for supporting me. And Chrissy, thank you for having me today. Appreciate you, girl.
Absolutely. I hope we get to do it again.
All right. Look forward to it.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Everybody, Tara did a fabulous job. I'm so grateful that she came and did that with us today. Normally we'd be another 20 minutes or so, but I'm not seeing the purpose in it. Next week, we are going to have a fabulous presentation about the compensation plan. There'll be a PowerPoint involved, so there'll be graphics, plenty of time to take notes, concise, simple, explained compensation plan, what rank advancement means, the difference between an enroller and a sponsor, who gets what, when, and why, all of those things. Basically an introduction to business, and it will be recorded so that you can share that with your teams later. Like if you decide to do an intro to business class and you're nervous, you can pull up the video and mute it and talk for yourself, or just put the video on from YouTube and then have a question and answer afterwards. This has been the most requested Tuesday morning training of all time. I started getting emails a couple months ago, and I started piddling around with it, and over the last couple weeks, that request has grown to almost 200 people. So, we will have that next Tuesday. I'm really excited about that, and I hope to see you all there. What we'll do is we'll go through the presentation, and then we'll have question and answer at the end, so that those who use this as a presentation later won't have interruptions to worry about during their own class. So please feel free to join us next week. When you do so, make sure you come in muted, and we'll have question and answer at the end. I repeated myself, but that's okay. I look forward to seeing you all next Tuesday. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving, everyone. Bye-bye.